Hello, my friend, and welcome back to your English listening practice. Today, we are going to talk about something very important, something that many learners struggle with. It's not only about grammar or vocabulary or pronunciation. It's something much deeper, something that controls your voice, your confidence, and your ability to use English in real life. Today, we are going to talk about fear. Fear is the silent wall that stands between you and fluency. It's invisible, but you can feel it so clearly. It's like a glass wall. You can see the world of English on the other side, but every time you try to step forward, something inside you freezes. Your heart beats faster. Your hands feel a little cold. Your tongue suddenly feels heavy, and your mind goes blank. That's what fear does. It's the quiet voice that says, "Wait, don't speak yet. What if you say something wrong? What if they laugh at you? What if you sound stupid? What if you forget the words?" And when you listen to that voice too long, you start believing it. You start thinking that silence is safer, that it's better to stay quiet than to risk embarrassment. But my friend, fear is not your master. Fear is not the truth. Fear is just a feeling, and feelings can change. Fear is powerful only when you feed it, and you feed it by avoiding the very things that make you grow. Every time you stay silent when you could have spoken, fear grows stronger. But every time you speak, even a little, fear loses its strength. You take a piece of your power back. Think about when you were a child, learning your first language. You made mistakes all the time. You said funny things. You mispronounced words. You used the wrong grammar, but you didn't care. You laughed. You tried again, and you kept speaking because you weren't afraid. You didn't worry about how you sounded or whether people were judging you. You were free. But as we grow older, something changes. We begin to care more about what others think of us. We start to fear embarrassment more than failure. We want to be perfect before we even begin. And that's how fear builds its walls, not from reality, but from thoughts. Let me tell you something true. Nobody was born speaking English. Not your teacher, not the YouTuber you watch, not the actor you admire. Every fluent speaker you know was once a beginner, just like you. They also made mistakes. They also forgot words. They also felt nervous. The only difference is, they didn't stop. They spoke through the fear. They kept going, and that's why they are fluent now. Fluency doesn't come from silence. It comes from courage. Think of a person who wants to learn to swim, but never enters the water because they're afraid of drowning. They read books about swimming, watch videos, study techniques, and tell themselves, "I'll try when I'm ready." But no one becomes a swimmer by reading. You learn by doing, by getting in the water, by feeling it, by moving, by trying. English works the same way. You can study all the grammar books you want. You can memorize thousands of words. But until you use them, until you speak, you'll never feel free in English. You might make mistakes. Yes, you might forget words. You might feel nervous or embarrassed. But those are not signs of failure. Those are signs of progress. Because every mistake is proof that you are learning. Every uncomfortable moment is a step forward. The only real mistake is staying silent. Now, let's understand fear a little more deeply. Fear is natural. It's your brain trying to protect you from danger. A long time ago, fear helped us survive. It made us run from wild animals, seek shelter from storms, and stay away from fire. But today, when you're about to speak English, there's no lion, no fire, no storm. Yet your brain still reacts the same way. It feels uncomfortable, and it sends a signal that says, "Stop. This might be dangerous, but it isn't." A grammar mistake won't hurt you. A pause won't kill you. A wrong sentence won't destroy your life. The fear you feel is a false alarm. When you realize that fear is lying to you, you can begin to take control. You can breathe, smile, and keep going. Your heart might still beat faster, but that's okay. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the choice to act, even when you feel afraid. You can speak, even if your voice shakes. You can continue, even when your thoughts are not perfect. And with each small act of courage, you train your mind to trust you. And here's something most learners forget. People are not judging you as much as you think. When you speak English, most people are not counting your mistakes or analyzing your grammar. They're not waiting to laugh at you. They just want to understand what you mean. They care more about your message than your accuracy. And if you speak with sincerity and courage, they'll respect you even more. Think about how you feel when someone speaks your language with an accent. Do you mock them? Of course not. You admire their effort. You appreciate that they're trying. It's the same when you speak English. People see your courage. They respect your effort. They don't care that your accent is different. They care that you're communicating. So remember this. Your message is more important than your mistakes. Your courage matters more than your perfection. Every time you speak English, you're not only learning the language, you're also learning bravery. You're teaching yourself to be okay with imperfection, to move through fear instead of avoiding it. Now, you might wonder if fear ever disappears completely. The answer is no. Fear doesn't vanish. It changes. It becomes smaller, quieter, easier to live with. You cannot wait until you feel no fear to start speaking. That day may never come. The secret is to speak while you're afraid, because the more you speak, the less fear controls you. It's like walking through fog. The more you move, the more you see. Imagine a small child learning to walk. The child falls again and again. They cry, they get scared, but they still get up. They take another step and another, and slowly walking becomes natural. If that child waited until there was no chance of falling, they would never walk. The same is true for you and English. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't wait until you're perfect. Start now, even if your voice shakes. Maybe today you can only say a few words. Maybe tomorrow you'll say a few sentences. Maybe next week you'll join a conversation. Each small moment is progress. Each small act of speaking weakens the power of fear. Every time you try, you prove to yourself that fear can't stop you. Fluency isn't one big jump. It's 1,000 tiny, brave steps. Each sentence you say, each mistake you make, each moment you choose courage, it all counts. That is how you grow. That is how you become confident. That is how you break the wall of fear. The truth is, fear never truly disappears. Even people who speak English fluently sometimes feel nervous before speaking in front of a crowd, or when they meet someone new, or when they face a topic they don't know well. But what changes is how they respond to that fear. They don't let it decide for them. They don't let it stop them. They feel the fear, but they speak anyway. That is what courage looks like. You see, courage is not about being fearless. Courage is about being afraid and choosing to act anyway. When you open your mouth to speak English, even if your voice shakes or your accent feels heavy, you are already being courageous. Every time you speak, even a little, you are building a habit of bravery. You are training your mind to trust your voice. You are telling fear, I hear you, but I'm speaking anyway. So how do we reduce fear and build confidence, step by step? The first step is to change the way you think about mistakes. Many learners believe that a mistake means failure, but that's not true. A mistake is not a sign that you are bad at English. It's a sign that you are trying. It's proof that you are learning. Every mistake you make becomes a teacher if you allow it to be. It shows you what to improve, what to notice, what to practice next. Without mistakes, there is no growth. Without mistakes, there is no fluency. Think about how we learn anything new. When you learn to ride a bike, you fall. When you learn to cook, you burn something. When you learn to drive, you make small errors. That's normal. So why should English be any different? The problem is not making mistakes. The problem is judging yourself for making them. The moment you stop judging yourself, fear starts to lose its power. The second step is to focus on progress, not perfection. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I better today than I was yesterday? Did I try something new this week? Did I speak even when I was nervous? If the answer is yes, then you are moving forward. It doesn't matter if your English isn't perfect yet. What matters is that you are improving little by little. Perfection is an illusion, but progress is real. Every word you say adds to your progress. Every new expression you try adds confidence. Every small conversation is a victory, even if it only lasts a few seconds. Learning a language is not a race. It's a journey. And on this journey, small steps are still steps. Celebrate them. When you focus on what you've done right instead of what you've done wrong, you begin to enjoy the process. And when you enjoy learning, fear starts to fade away. The third step is to take small risks every day. Don't wait for a big opportunity or a big moment to test yourself. Practice in small ways. Say hi to someone in English. Ask for directions. Comment on a video. Join a short online chat. Every small risk makes you braver. Each time you try, you build emotional strength. You train your courage like a muscle. Think of your confidence as something you exercise daily. You don't get strong by going to the gym once a year. You get strong by showing up again and again. The same is true for English. You become confident by showing up, by trying, by repeating, by building experience. And soon, what once made you nervous will feel easy. The fourth step is to remember your purpose. Ask yourself, why do I want to speak English? What is the reason behind my effort? Is it for work, travel, study, connection, or something more personal? Maybe it's because English gives you freedom, the freedom to communicate, to understand the world, to express who you truly are. Hold on to that reason, because your purpose is stronger than your fear. When fear says, be quiet, your purpose can whisper back, speak. When fear says, stay safe, your purpose can remind you, take the chance. Your purpose becomes your inner strength, the light that guides you when your confidence feels weak. Every time you remember why you started, you find new energy to keep going. The fifth step is to practice self-kindness. Many learners are far too hard on themselves. They focus only on what they can't do, on what they forgot, on what they got wrong. They say to themselves, my English is terrible. I'm too slow. I'll never be fluent. But these thoughts only make fear stronger. You cannot grow when you are fighting yourself. Instead, try speaking to yourself as you would to a friend. Imagine if your friend came to you and said, I made so many mistakes today. Would you laugh at them? Would you tell them to quit? No. You would encourage them. You would say, "That's okay. You're learning. You're getting better." You deserve that same kindness from yourself. Speak gently to your own mind. Tell yourself, "I'm learning. I'm improving. I'm brave enough to try." When you respect yourself, fear loses its power. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine your future self 1 year from now. Imagine that version of you speaking English more easily. You're joining conversations, sharing ideas, laughing with others. You're not afraid anymore, or at least the fear is much smaller now. You feel proud because you know how far you've come. That version of you is not a dream. It's a future that is waiting for you, and you can reach it by practicing a little every day. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You don't have to reach the top in one day. You just have to keep walking. Each small step brings you higher. Some days the path feels easy. Some days it feels hard. But every step counts. If you keep going, the view at the top will be worth it. Every time you speak, even if you feel afraid, you are training your courage. Every sentence you say is a small victory. Every word you use is a step closer to fluency. So instead of asking, "Did I speak perfectly?" ask, "Did I speak bravely?" Because bravery, not perfection, is the heart of communication. When you begin to measure your progress by courage instead of accuracy, everything changes. The fear becomes less important. The mistakes become smaller. What matters most is your effort, your willingness to try. Let me tell you something beautiful. Speaking English without fear doesn't mean never feeling nervous. It means you speak even while you're nervous. You show up even when you doubt yourself. You keep trying until courage becomes your habit. And once it becomes a habit, it becomes a part of who you are. Your English doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be alive. Alive with your personality, alive with your ideas, alive with your truth. The world doesn't need another perfect speaker. It needs your authentic voice. Don't hide it. Don't wait until you feel ready. Because you are ready now, even if it doesn't feel that way. Fear tells you to stay silent, but silence doesn't help you grow. Speaking does. Every time you speak, you choose growth over fear. You choose courage over comfort. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the wall of fear you once saw so clearly has disappeared. Not because it was broken in a single day, but because you walked through it. Little by little, word by word. Now, I want to help you see something deeper. I want you to see that fear is not your enemy. Fear is part of your growth. It shows up when you are standing on the edge of change, when you are about to do something that matters. That's why it feels so strong when you speak English, because it means something to you. It means you care. When you understand this, fear becomes less scary. You stop fighting it, and instead, you begin to walk with it. You realize that fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to lead the way. You can hold it gently, say, "I see you, but I'm going forward anyway." And then, take another step. Each time you do that, your courage grows a little stronger, and your fear grows a little smaller. This is what real learning feels like. It's not always easy, not always comfortable. There will be days when you feel stuck, when your words come slowly, when you forget simple things you thought you already knew. On those days, you might feel disappointed, but please remember, that is part of the process. Growth is not a straight line. It's a gentle wave, moving up and down, forward and backward. Even when you feel like you are standing still, something inside you is improving. Your understanding, your rhythm, your confidence. So when those moments come, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I'm not failing, I'm learning, because every challenge is a teacher in disguise. The times you freeze, the times you forget, those are the moments that build strength. Without them, there is no growth. And as you continue, you'll start to notice small changes. You'll notice that your fear doesn't shout as loudly as before. You'll notice that you recover from mistakes faster. You'll notice that conversations that once felt impossible now feel natural. These small changes are the signs that courage is becoming your habit. You may not realize it now, but every time you speak, you're sending a message to yourself. You're saying, I believe in me. Every sentence you form, every time you try, you are rewriting your story. From, I'm scared to speak to, I am brave enough to try. And this new story will become your reality. Let's take a moment to visualize that. Imagine yourself standing in front of a group of people speaking English clearly. Your heart beats calmly. Your words flow naturally. You see smiles on faces, not because you are perfect, but because you are real, confident, and connected. Imagine traveling to another country and talking easily with locals, laughing, sharing your thoughts. Imagine sitting in an interview and expressing your ideas with honesty. These images are not fantasy. They are possibilities waiting for you. They are already on their way to becoming true if you keep walking forward. You see, speaking English is not just about language. It's about freedom, the freedom to connect, to express, to belong. It's about unlocking doors that were once closed, and the key to those doors is not perfection. It's courage. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be brave. Because bravery creates opportunities that perfection never will. When you dare to speak, you invite the world in. You allow others to know you, to hear you, to see who you are. And that is what makes communication so powerful. So, whenever fear comes back, and it will, don't try to push it away. Acknowledge it. Say, I know you're here, but I have work to do. Take a breath. Smile and speak anyway. Speak even if your voice shakes. Speak even if your grammar isn't perfect. Speak even if you need to pause to find the right words. Because the act of speaking is the victory. The words will follow. And if someone corrects you, don't take it as an insult. Take it as a gift. That person is helping you see what you couldn't see before. It's not a sign that you're failing. It's proof that you're learning. Every correction is a small step closer to fluency. Let's talk about one more thing that will help you walk through fear. Community. You don't have to learn alone. Speak with others who are learning like you. Join groups. Make friends. Find people who encourage you. When you share your journey with others, fear feels lighter. You realize that everyone makes mistakes, everyone gets nervous, and everyone starts somewhere. You begin to see that you are not behind. You are simply on your path, moving at your own pace. And when you help others who feel the same fear you once felt, something beautiful happens. You stop being the student who is afraid, and you become the encourager. You become the one who says, it's okay. I've been there too. That is how you grow, not only as a speaker, but as a person. Now, let's return to where we began. We started by talking about fear, that invisible wall between you and fluency. But now, can you see that the wall was never solid? It was only made of thoughts, only as strong as the power you gave it. Every time you speak, even if it's just one sentence, you crack that wall a little more. One day, without even realizing it, you'll notice that it's gone. You'll be standing on the other side, speaking freely, smiling, and wondering why you ever doubted yourself in the first place. Your English does not need to be perfect. It needs to be alive. Alive with your thoughts, your humor, your heart, your message. Don't wait for the perfect time, because there will never be one. The perfect time is now. Don't wait for your fear to disappear, because it won't. It will only shrink when you act. The moment you speak, you start winning. You are stronger than your fear. You always have been. Fear may be loud, but your purpose is louder. Fear may be heavy, but your courage is stronger. Fear may say, stop, but your heart can say, go. And when you follow that voice, you'll discover something magical, that every dream you've had about speaking English confidently is already within reach. So today, make a decision. Decide that fear will not control you anymore. Decide that your dreams matter more than your doubts. Decide that your voice deserves to be heard. The world needs your ideas, your laughter, your stories. Don't hide them. Fluency is not just about words. It's about freedom. Freedom to express, to connect, to belong. And that freedom begins the moment you choose courage over fear. So, my friend, this is your moment. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Speak with courage. Speak with kindness to yourself. Speak with love for your journey. Every time you use your voice, you grow. Every time you face fear, you win. Every time you speak, you become a little more fluent, a little more free. And when fear whispers in your ear again, because it will, just smile and say softly, I'm not afraid. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm becoming fluent. Speak English without fear, and the world will open its doors to you.